Geo Brags, doing the geography and also the brags, yeah.
Vietnam verdict, Vietnam verdict.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Nice spin.
That's Geo Brags for you right there. Let's go.
And again.
Welcome back to the Global Cities Tournament 2024. My name is Geo Brax, and welcome to episode 14. In today's episode, we are going to go through the second round matchups here in quadrant number 3. And as always, let's get to the previews.
Number 95 ranked Hamburg is one of 4 German cities here in the second round. The debutantes made it out of the first round, defeating the wildcard Suzhou. Hamburg's reward is a matchup against the capital city of the United States, Washington, from the District of Columbia. In the first round, Washington recorded its first ever win in a Global Cities tournament, defeating Birmingham. The next matchup features Vienna, a first-time participant here in the second round and the sole representative from Austria. Vienna advanced past Kolkata in the 5th category in the first round on the basis of having better landmarks, namely the Schönbrunn Palace. Vienna's opponent is going to be the largest city in Turkey, that is the number 15 overall seed Istanbul, in what could be dubbed the battle for Sarajevo's soul. Sarajevo has never made an appearance in this tournament before, but it is split between the Austria-Hungarian Empire and the Ottoman Empire. Anyhow, back to the topic at hand, Istanbul defeated Perth in the first round on the basis of having a better day trip, namely the Buyukada Island. With the number 30 overall seed, we have another German city. This time it is the capital city of Berlin. Berlin made it to the round of 16 in GC 2020, and it is off to a great start, having swept Karachi in the first round here. Berlin will be facing the debutantes Macau, who swept Santiago de Chile in the first round, and will be looking to continue to deal damage to your bracket. Seattle is the 6th of the 8 American cities to participate here in the second round. Number 49 overall defeated Zurich in the first round of GCT 24. Seattle is taking on the second lowest ranked city remaining, that is Addis Ababa from Ethiopia, the final city from Africa. The city that took down Tokyo in the first round, the number 3 overall seed in a 5th category. Addis Ababa advanced on the basis of its nicknames New Flower and City of Humans.
Hamburg versus Washington. 15. 4. 'What else are friends for? 16. 2. 1. Extra. 8. 'In the first matchup of the day, we have the 5th American city to take part in the second round so far. That is the number 19 overall seed in the national capital, Washington, taking on the debutantes, the 2nd German city to take part in the second round thus far, Hamburg. And my dear friend Not Richt, you saw the draw. It's provided the first category as carbon emissions per capita. And it's typically a terrible category for both the North American and the European cities. 11.1 tons of carbon dioxide per person in Hamburg, and in Washington, D.C., dear Lord, 19.0. Okay, second category it is. Highest population density in Hamburg, it's 2,600 people per square kilometer. In Washington, it is 4,355 per square kilometer. We're tied at 1. Third category is the public transit rating. Washington is on the Oliver Wyman form in 25th place. Hamburg unranked. So we went to the daily ridership for the DC Metro. 475,000 riders, 208 kilometers of track. The U-Bahn for Hamburg. 665,000 daily riders, 106 kilometers. We're going to call it a push. Go to the fourth category. Healthcare index 64.9 against 75.5. And Hamburg at 75.5. The 2-to-1 lead going in to the extra category, which is the combined heights of the 3 tallest buildings in the city. That's the Elbphilharmonie, the Radisson Blue Hotel, Hamburg, and the Columbus House. Yeah, your tallest building is the Philharmonie, and the hotel second. Pretty short, 323 meters. Yeah, and of course, Washington, a major city in the United States, the Basilica of the National Shrine, the old Post Office Pavilion, Washington National Cathedral. There were 2 churches there. 288 meters? Okay, well, I guess Hamburg won that category, and to the third round. Vienna versus Istanbul. 11. 3. 2. 14. 1. Extra. 5. 'Up now we have the returning quarterfinalists and number 15 seed Istanbul, Turkey, taking on a city that just recorded its first ever win in Vienna, Austria, the sole representatives of that country. The first category is most visited museum. That will be the Galata Tower Museum in Istanbul, 1.24 million people. And in Vienna, it is the Kunsthistorisches Museum with 1.35 million. A close win for Vienna. Second category is pollution index, 17.3? That's not a typo? Vienna might be the cleanest city we've seen so far. Istanbul, 68.2. You're down 2-0. Might not be a quarterfinal run this season. Third category is given by Not Ricked. Was most species of birds. 295 in Vienna. 385 in Istanbul. Can they bring it back? Category number 4 is Happy City Index. Istanbul, 197th, and Vienna, 14. Vienna pulls the upset and is going to the third round. Berlin versus Macau. 8. 7. 1. 10. 3. 15. We are back with another German city. This time it is the national capital and number 30 overall seed, Berlin, taking on the debutantes here in the second round, Macau, the city-state. First category. From Maastricht is the combined heights of the three tallest buildings in each city. We have the Grand Lisboa, Le Royal Arc, and the Encore at Wynn Macau. Taking on the three tallest buildings in Berlin, which are Edge East Side, Park Inn by Radisson Berlin Alexanderplatz, and of course, Trepp Towers. 684 to 392, an easy win for Macau. To the second category we go. Largest company headquartered in the city, that is Wynn Macau. Revenues of $5.6 billion per year, taking on Deutsche Bahn, $55.7 billion per year, and 230th on the Global 500. Berlin ties it at 1. Next category is which city's average high monthly temperature is closest to 23 degrees Celsius. Macau, 25.92. Berlin, 13.75. That is much too cold to take this category. We're going to go with the fourth round. Busiest airports. In Macau, it's the Macau International Airport, MFM, 600,000 passengers per year. That is not a lot. It seems like a lot of people just fly to Hong Kong and then take the ferry. In Berlin, it is the Berlin Brandenburg Airport, BER, 23.1 million passengers per year. And we are going to category the fifth. Maastricht has determined that the subjectivity will be best landmarks. We have the Grand Lisboa, the tallest building in Macau. Senado Square, the ruins of Sao Paulo. And in Berlin, we have the Charlottenburg Palace, Brandenburg Gate, Berliner Dom, Reichstag. Yeah, that is a blowout of a fifth category in favor of the number 30 seed, Berlin, going back to the third round. Seattle versus Addis Ababa. 2. $16. 17. 9. 4. Extra. 1. In the final second round matchup here in the top half of Quadrant number 3, we have the sixth American city in the second round. That is Seattle, Washington, taking on the final representative of the continent of Africa. That is Addis Ababa from Ethiopia. First category is Healthcare Index, 66.1 against 55.4 Seattle. The 1-0 lead. Second category is Public Transit Rating. Neither one is ranked. So, daily ridership. Addis Ababa actually has the first light rail in East Africa, perhaps in Sub-Saharan Africa. 56,000 daily riders across 32 kilometers of track. An established city in the United States should have more. The Seattle Link, 78,600 daily riders and 48 kilometers. That's kind of too close to call, so yeah, third category, 1-0. Quality of living ranking, 52nd place for Seattle. Addis Ababa, 225th. Down to nothing, going to the category number 4. Highest ranked university on the U.S. News Report. We have Addis Ababa University in 573rd, and the University of Washington, Seattle in 6th place in the entire world. So Seattle will be seeing you in the 3rd round.
The number 6 overall seed Paris is one of 2 French cities in the second round. Paris, of course, made the quarterfinals of GC 2020, and in the first round of this tournament, defeated Tel Aviv in a sweep in a rematch from the previous tournament. Paris will be taking on the number 25 overall city that is Taipei, the capital of Taiwan. In the first round, Taipei swept Prague and are primed for the challenge here. Up next is the number 90 ranked city that is the sole representative and capital of Poland, Warsaw. Warsaw has made it back to the second round after having defeated Dallas in 5 categories in the first round due to having better nature, specifically the Kabati Woods. Its opponent is the debutante and capital city from Brazil, Brasília. Brasília shocked the world by sweeping seeded city Dali in the first round. Number 61, Busan, is yet another debutante. This is the second of the 2 South Korean cities here in the second round, and Busan advanced here by defeating Zagreb in the first round. The number 24 seed Mexico City from Distrito Federal in Mexico is looking to make amends for its poor showing in GC 2020. In the first round of this tournament, Mexico City defeated Kuwait City in a 5th category, which was Best Day Trip. And of course, Mexico City won on the back of Teotihuacan. Next up is the sole representative and capital city from Sweden, number 64, Stockholm, a city that recorded its first ever victory in the first round over Ottawa. Its opponent is the lowest ranked city that made it into the tournament, number 180, Auckland from New Zealand, back to the second round for the second consecutive tournament. Auckland made it through Guangzhou in the first round on the back of its wonderful stadium, Eden Park.
Paris versus Taipei. 5. 14. 2. 7. 3. Extra. 12. 'Kicking off the bottom half of Quadrant 3 here in the second round, we have the second of the 2 French cities in the second round. That is the number 6 overall seed Paris taking on the city that is the highest ranked city not to get a seed, number 25, the final remaining city from Taiwan, its capital, Taipei. First category from Not Ricked was, which city's airport is closest to the city center in Taipei? It is TPE Airport, 50.0 kilometers away. Yeah, that's really far. Charles de Gaulle, CDG, 31.3 kilometers away. Paris sneaks a category it probably shouldn't be winning. Second category is the Happy City Index. Paris somehow unranked. Kind of index doesn't have Paris on it. Taipei 46th. To the World Happiness Report we go. 43rd versus 47th. And Paris with a 2-0 lead on the brink of the third round. Most species of birds. Taipei, 481. No way a European city comes close. 256. And we're still going to the fourth category. The largest company headquartered in the city, Paris, AXA. 48th on the global 500. $144.4 billion in revenue a year in Paris. Welcome to Category 5. Because in Taipei, it's the Honhai Precision Industry. $214.6 billion in revenue. Number 20 on the global 500. Not Rinks is telling us that the subjective category here is Best Landmarks. Oof. Oof. We got the Chiang Kai-shek and the Sun Yat-sen Memorial Halls. The Lung Shan Temple. Taipei 101. Taking on the Sacré-Cœur Cathedral. We have the Arc de Triomphe. The Tour Eiffel. The Louvre. Notre Dame Basilica. Are you kidding me, Taipei? Oh, what an unlucky city to draw for best landmarks, because Taipei came with the heat, but Paris came with more. To the third round. Warsaw versus Brasília. 6. 7. 14. 2. 5. Extra. 5. Next up, we have a matchup of two cities that advanced out of the first round as the lower ranked city. We have number 90, Warsaw, the sole representative from Poland, and Brasília, the second of 3 Brazilian cities in the second round. The first category is drawn by not ranked was gross domestic product per capita, 18,413 in Brasília. That's not going to cut it against 50,497 Warsaw, 1-0. Second category is largest company headquartered in the city. In 465th place on the global 500, Banco do Brasil, 30.6 billion a year in revenues. And the PGNIG, the oil mining and gas extraction company, 5.8 billion in Warsaw, not in the global 500. We're tied at 1. Third category is Happy City Index, Brasília not ranked. So the fourth category is most species of birds. Oh yeah, in Brasília. Flying through this one, 527. Warsaw, 252. To the extra category we go. Warsaw on the brink of elimination. Whose airport is closest to the city center? In Brasília, the BSB airport, 10.5 kilometers away. That is a wrap. Just kidding. WAW, 8.0 kilometers away from the city center. And as always, 2 + 2 = 5 here in the Global Cities Tournaments. And this subjective category is Best Stadium of Brazilian City. Gets Best Stadium. The Mané Garrincha Soccer Stadium. Unfortunately, it's only beautiful on the inside and it's quite isolated. It doesn't seem to be close to much of the rest of the city at all, but it seats almost 70,000 people. It's taking on the Stadion Narodowy, which has a retractable roof, connectivity to the river, and the light rail. Seats 58,580 and is just a better stadium. So Warsaw, the back of its stadium, to the third round. Busan versus Mexico City. 16. 3. 11. 15. 1. Extra. 13. 'We have the number 24 overall seed, the second Mexican city here in the second round. Ciudad de Mexico taking on the second South Korean city, the debutantes, Busan. Can South Korea keep its undefeated streak going? First category is the public transit rating. Mexico City, 52nd on the Oliver Wyman Forum. Busan, unranked. So, it's time to check the daily metro ridership. 4.5 million in Mexico City, 201 kilometers of track. Busan, 938,000 riders per day, 116.5 kilometers of track. However, Mexico City is about 4.5 times bigger in population, so that's a wash. Second category is which city has the number of rainy days per year closest to the target score of 120. Busan, Mexico City, 105, 108. 3 days closer to the target. Mexico City, a 1-0 lead. The third category is the most visited museum. It's the Busan National Science Museum against the Museo Nacional de Antropología. 810,000 versus 2.34 million. An absolutely deserved category win here for Ciudad de Mexico. On the verge of the third round for the first time, a 2-0 lead. Can Busan bring it back? Carbon emissions per capita. Busan absolutely cannot bring that one back. 13.8 tons of carbon dioxide, somehow 50th in total emissions in the world, in spite of not being all that large of a city. Mexico City, 2.8 tons of carbon dioxide per person, and we'll be seeing you in the third round. Stockholm versus Auckland. 11. 7. 4. 17. 4. Extra. 4. And in the final matchup of the day, we have two cities that are the sole representatives of their respective countries. That is Stockholm from Sweden taking on Auckland, New Zealand. First category is the most visited museum. And let me tell you, I've actually been to both of these. They're both very good. Auckland War Memorial Museum versus the Wisconsin Open Air Museum. Yeah, they got live caribou at Wisconsin. They also have 1.3 million visitors per year. In the War Memorial Museum, 900,000, so Stockholm to a 1-0 lead. Second category is the largest company headquartered in the city. That is Investor in Stockholm and Fonterra in Auckland. 13.8 billion versus 30.9 billion. Actually good enough for 461st on the Global 500 and a 2-0 lead to Stockholm, home of Investor. The third category is rent cost versus purchasing power, and this was very close. The rent cost is 6.5% lower in Stockholm, and the purchasing power is 1.1% higher, which means Stockholm gets out the brooms and is into the third round. And there you have it, episode 14 of the Global Cities Tournament 2024 here on GeoBrax. And Quadrant 3 ended up a lot differently in the second round than Quadrants 1 and 2 did. Only 3 of the 8 seeds survived, by far the lowest total of the first 3 quadrants. And instead of having 4 continents represented, we only have 2 continents remaining here in the third round, including 6 cities from Europe. There are 2 matchups that are the first 2 intracontinental matchups of the third round. So Europe has dominated in quadrant number 3. If you want to keep up with the bracket and try to follow along with all of the madness, challenge.com/GCT24, linked below along with our Discord. So you can see all the research done. You can see how the category winners were decided on the PowerPoints. If you like subscribing, go ahead. And if your city is one of the 40 remaining cities, then congratulations. Either way, we'll see you for episode 15 on GCT 24.